Welcome friends, my name is Stegs and we've got some new PixARK gameplay footage to go through and it looks really cool. So we're going to get straight into it and pick it apart piece by piece. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave it a like and be sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all the latest PixARK news. Let's do this! So this is the footage I was talking about. Now, we are going to be stopping and starting the video a little bit to talk about certain aspects, but in the later half of the video, I'm just going to play the whole gameplay footage so you can have a look for yourselves. The first thing we see is this blue thing, which is one of the quests. So you can see here, it's fight with proper weapons. Use a stone spear to defeat 5 double-ridged dragons. I don't know what double-ridged dragons are, by the way, but I am assuming that they can't be that difficult if you need to kill them with a stone spear. So these guys, basically, it looks like this is like the place where you see the quest. And then just behind it, when this guy goes there, you've got like an item container as well, which I'm imagining holds the rewards for completing the quest. And I think you actually have to go up to this container and press E. This guy's going into his event. Come up, dude. Chop, chop. Thank you. So this guy actually goes up and you can see task info there. And I think as soon as he presses E, it actually comes up in the quest log of his. Just like that. Had to pause at the right moment there because it's about to disappear. So yeah, you've got your quest log up here. It just says, obviously, it will list all of your quests there. I don't know if you can do multiple quests at the same time. I'd imagine there's probably some kind of limit there, but hey, it doesn't really, it's a minor detail that we don't really care about. They have said in an interview that I'm going to cover in another video because there's just way too much information at the moment to put all into one video. But they have said in an interview with another games news site that the quests at the moment are going to be really small. So they are going to be things like, go here, kill 5 of these things. Go here, kill 5 of these things. Which is fine, you know, it's okay. I kind of wanted some bigger quests in there, but we have to remember this is early access, right? So there's going to be a lot more things added, and they seem to want to put bigger quests in later on anyway. So this is mainly so that new players can jump in and have something to do straight away, rather than just be like, I don't know what I'm doing. I guess I'll dig a hole. Yeah, that's good. So there's some really minor gathering differences as well when it comes to Ark as well. So you'll get thatch and fiber from picking up stuff from bushes. And the actual, how you get stone and flint is totally different as well. It's actually, they're 2 separate blocks, which you'll see in a second. The flint is this right down here, which I think he's about to mine. Yeah, so he's mining that. It literally takes 1 hit with, I think this is a wood pickaxe. I don't really know. I can't tell. It kind of looks like wood to me, but it could be something like copper. So maybe that's why it's only taken 1 hit. But at the end of the day, that's good. You know, it means that flint is going to be easily accessible. And rocks are also just a small dig down as well. And you just use the pickaxe, and we'll show you that a little bit later on. So here the guy is just looking through his inventory, looking for something to craft. You can see up here, there are slightly different tabs that we're used to. We got the Tribe Manager, Task Manager, Engram, Craft, and Profile. And the dude is eventually going to go into his engrams anytime today, buddy. Thank you. And what we can see here is really interesting. So some people might have missed this. The level down here, you've got level 0 up to level 80. So it looks like level 80 is going to be the top level instead of the standard level 100, or if you go tech tier, then you go higher than that. And the dude also has a ton of engram points as well. So I know they've said they want to gear it towards single player. So I'm kind of wondering if you've got, if you're going to be able to unlock everything by yourself. That would be really nice. But we have to bear in mind, this will be a development build, so they could well have just put cheats in to be able to give them, like, level them up all the way to level 80, and give them a load of cheats. I mean, it looks like the dude is actually only at, like, level 45 or something. I may have missed this completely. So how he has that many engram points is beyond me. I'm gonna say hacks, probably hacks. So don't pay too much attention to the engram points, but the levels, pretty important there. Not 100, gonna be 80. Interesting stuff. But this also shows the skill trees. Now, I'm not entirely sure how these work, but you can see we've got primitive skill, metallurgy, I don't know what that is, but I feel like that's a made-up word. Industrial skill, magic skill, and architecture master. Master. Cool. So the magic skill is obviously going to be for if you're a wizard, you want to be able to make cool magic things and like shoot lightning bolts out of your wizard staff. Industrial skill, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure what that's going to be yet. And that's the same with metallurgy and architecture master. You can kind of get a gist of what everything is. Like, you know, we know that it's going to be things to do with industrial things to do with architecture. But we don't know what's actually in there. And unfortunately, in the video, we don't get any kind of preview. In primitive skill, you've got explore, fight, structure, produce, and traffic. No idea what traffic means. Like, I have no idea. So I'm yet to figure out what these skill trees are actually for. Maybe there's certain engrams that you unlock in a particular way. I don't know. But that's more things that we need to find out. Next, we're going to come on to a little bit of a controversial topic with taming. Pause it there, Steggy. We've got some talking to do. So, obviously, you can see we've got a Pteranodon here, and you have the lifetime as well. The lifetime is an hour long, and before you go to the forum and you say, why is the Pteranodon only an hour long? Remember, this could be, the guy could have had it for like a day already. You never know. And it could be completely different because it's a development build. However, I will say that what the developers said was the tames would last for a maximum of 3 days. So, this in theory probably means that some tames will only last a shorter amount of time and some tames will last longer. Whether they're going to go as far as to only give you a tame for an hour, I don't know. That seems a little bit harsh to me, but I'm not one to say how to design a game, right? You know, I'm not a game designer. I don't know. But the facts are we can see it's got an hour on it. It's also level 9, so that also means that the answer of will the dinos have levels? Yes, they will have levels. So it's always going to be a good idea for you to actually tame a high level dino, because I'm imagining you're not going to be able to level it up anyway because it's a temporary tame. The other thing to note as well is I don't actually see let's rewind that back. I don't actually see a saddle on the Pteranodon, which also leads me to believe that dinosaurs aren't necessarily meant to be totally fighting for you. And I'm going to tell you exactly why in just a second when we get there. Okay, here we go. The dude is about to land in a questionable area, shall we say. And you can already hear the battle music's on. We have a male werewolf, guys. A male werewolf is about to wreck his Pteranodon. Boom! Now, this guy doesn't really seem bothered. I don't know whether he has a death wish or whether, actually, it's better for you to fight off your dino. You saw how many hits that Pteranodon took, right? That was like 2 hits from the werewolf. And I will remind you, the werewolf was level 8. No, it was level 18. I can't read. And the Pteranodon was level 9. So that may say something about, you know, the dinos maybe aren't as good at fighting as they were in Ark. Which would make sense, because the reason they were so OP in Ark against wild dinos was because they had the saddles on, right? I mean, it's not the only reason, but you know what I'm saying. Next up, we have a preview of digging, and you can see that he's getting some rock and just some random dirt. So the rock, like I said before, the rock and the flint are actually different blocks that you get from digging down a little bit further into the dirt. There's something interesting about this clip as well. You can just about see it in... I'm going to need to pause it somewhere. Pause! Right here. What is this ore? So I've got a couple of theories here. Either it's just simple, it's copper. It could be copper, but it looks kind of yellow to me. Which leads me to believe that actually it's a magical stone, because I found out in this video there are magical stones as well. We're going to get onto those a little bit later in the video, but it's cool. It's looks like a really cool system to be using, and it looks like you use the magic stone to craft a certain magic ammo for your staff. So that's kind of what I'm wondering for these. The only thing is, I feel like they're not very far down to be magic stones. I feel like you maybe have to dig further down to actually get to any sort of ore like that. This doesn't seem very far down, considering there's like still loads of flint, and we saw him come in. It's not very deep. So it could totally just be copper. And it just doesn't look like copper to my eyes. What does it look like to you? Am I just being blind? Like, is it actually copper, or am I being stupid? It's probably the latter, but I'm gonna go with my guess of magic stones so far. So we also get a little preview of the drill as well, which looks uber cool, by the way. It doesn't seem to have a lot of power. So you've got 2 power sources for the drill. I think one is like an electric battery and one is coal. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember what the article said. But it's got a percentage sign on the left of its icon and just a normal number on the right. So the right is the amount of like ammo you've got in it, and the left is the percentage power that ammo is giving it. So once all of that percentage goes down, the number on the right will go down 1. So if you've got 5 on the right and 10% on the left, when 10% goes to 0, the 5 will go down to 4. Makes sense? Probably not, because I'm not very good at explaining things. And just a small point before we move on, you can see as well that building physics does indeed apply. The dude has to put dirt down underneath the block and then put another block on top and build it up. He can't just build out from here and put floating blocks out, which is good. Next up, we get into the magic forest, which by the way is really cool, but I'd like to point out this guy, the female big ear rabbit. I've got little sneaky suspicions about this thing. I've got a theory that this turns into a werewolf when it hits nighttime. Don't ask me why. I have no evidence to back it up whatsoever. It's just you know when you get a feeling? I've got a feeling in my head that that's what happens. Look at its eyes. Its eyes are full of suppressed rage. Don't you think? So in the Magic Forest, we get a preview of the guy building his house. One of the really cool things that I really like about this is that you've got E to pick up. So if you make a mistake, you can just pick it up again, which is going to save my life countless times because I'm awful at building. If I do something wrong, I just go, oh, it's okay. I'll pick you up and I'll place you down correctly next time. So that's really, really nice. You've also got H to destroy, which is fine. You know, it a little bit quicker, I suppose. So what's happening here is the guy is placing down thunder totems, which summon thunder from the sky to destroy your enemies. So basically, if an enemy dino, or even in this case a neutral dino, gets close enough, it actually sparks it with lightning and kills it. It's awesome. It's such a cool form of defense, like particularly if you're specializing in magic. It's a much cooler way to kill people or dinos than just auto turrets, right? So I really, really like the idea of this. And the description on it, I believe, says something along the lines of, it will hit the enemies with thunder. That's just really cool, man. That's just super cool. Moving on to the stones. So there's only actually 2 that we can just see the tooltip for. So this one looks like it says Thunder Magic Stone, I believe. And the next one says Wind Magic Stone. So I would imagine that the red one that you can see there is probably Fire Magic Stone. I don't know what the yellow one is, though, because I don't know. I would have thought that the green one is actually Earth and the yellow one is Thunder. And maybe it's just a bug. I don't know, but that's what I would associate it with. But I would imagine that you will have, like, Earth, Wind, Fire, and Thunder, right? It makes sense. So what I think you do with these stones is I think you can put them into recipes and craft magic ammo for your staff with them. I'm going to highlight on screen right now what the ammo is for the current staff. It's that thing there. I can't remember what it's called. It's something like fire magic ammo. Something along the lines of that. But I think this is really, really cool. I'm so pleased that they put some gameplay out, man. I've been dying to just watch some gameplay and see what it's like. And some of the features in here are really, really awesome. I know that there's a whole community vibe about the whole taming thing. And, you know, I don't help towards that. I put a video out about it, and I said that I don't really like it. But at the same time, I'm also open to it. And I think that's really, really important for us to do. I think as a community, it is important to try and embrace change and see what it's like. And hope that if we don't like it, then there's some room for doing some adjustments. A lot of people in the Discord have been talking about this, and there's been a lot of chatter going on. Again, I will link the PixARK Discord in the description of the video so that you guys can go and have a chat about things there. It is really cool. They're a great bunch of people there. But yeah, it's looking great. I'm really, really excited for it. I don't think I've been so hyped for a game for a very, very long time. It's just looking awesome. The combination of putting a voxel game with Ark is just the best mix in the entire world. It's going to be so tasty, I want to eat it. Is that weird? Anyway, now we're going to be showing the entire gameplay footage. It's a 15-minute long video, so get yourself a cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy.